What's up, everybody? I'm Janique.
And I'm Lyric.
And we are
the Brown Sisters.
You already know. And today we are going to be talking to you guys about the 7 tips on maintaining and building a healthy relationship with your siblings. But before we get into that, we cannot go on with this video without shouting out our subscribers.
Yes. Thank you for all the love and support.
Yes, it really means a lot. Looking at you guys' comments is just nice to read, and we're so glad that you are enjoying the video as much as we do making them. Let's get into it.
Tip number 1 is quality time. We spend so much quality time together, sometimes a little too much. Every morning on Sunday, we do our morning prayer before church.
Yeah, we do our morning prayers together. Not only do we do that, but we do Bible study and church together. We also spend lots of time, well, not so much time lately, but watching TV. We do spend time doing that and going out to eat. We have just learned to value our quality time together, especially in this pandemic with COVID going on and things. And we've seen how spending time together, we really do get to know each other. And we're able to stay in tune with each other at all times. And so I think that quality time has really made us closer. And so we're more open with each other. And we're able to just have so many great moments together. And we've had to adjust in certain seasons because we realize that certain times one of us might be busier than the other. So I feel like in this season right now, our quality time, we've had to become more intentional with it because Lyric's schedule is a bit more busier than mine. And so we've done things like tell ourselves, okay, one day out of the month, we're going to do a sisters outing. And so we'll do something really big. We recently went to the Gospel Explosion, which was amazing. Yes. And we went to the state fair together. So each month we'll choose things to do.
Also, starting 2 years ago, we started celebrating National Sisters Day. It is August 1st every year. So it doesn't hurt to just take the time out and celebrate that day. We do a little gift for each other, something small, under $20. You know, sometimes I usually go a little over.
Yeah, I do too. I break my back sometimes.
I just have to have the best gift. But we do a little gift, and then we go out to eat or order in and just spend quality time together the whole entire day. I think National Sisters Day has set the tone for us for doing activities every single month.
Yes, it has. It really has. And so if you don't have a sister, of course, if you have a brother, you can do like National Siblings Day. It doesn't have to be limited to just National Sisters Day. Tip number 2 is space. Although we said that tip number 1 is quality time, it is important that you implement a healthy boundary and have time for yourselves as well. With the pandemic and being in the house together, we realized that sometimes we have to take a break from each other. Like, we can sometimes, like, okay, I've spent too much time with you, sister. Like, I just need a little bit of alone time.
Especially because your room is just right there. She likes to come in and talk a lot.
Since I'm more of a social butterfly, I will come in her room a lot, like, because I'm like, I need somebody to talk to. I want to see you face to face. And Lyric's just like, hey, sister, I need some space right now. And so I've learned to do other things to keep myself busy when we're spending our time alone. It really just gives you time to just decompress, being that we're always underneath each other. And it's just like, okay, now I can just breathe and let's spend some me time. Let me work on myself and find out how I can become a better sister or just even a better person. And so that space is just very, it's very beneficial, I would say. You really do need to implement that.
Yes, because at one point we were taking our quality time to the next level. We were going to the gym together, doing spin sessions together, lifting weights together. And then at one point we're just like, I need my space. Yeah. I want to lift weights for myself. I want to do cardio by myself.
Yeah.
Just let me be today. And then so since then, our gym time has been one of the times where we spent our alone time. Tip number 3 is honesty. Sometimes you just have to tell your siblings, hey, that hurt my feelings.
Yeah, honesty is so important. And when you're honest with your sibling and telling them how you feel, don't come off rude. Delivery is so important. Like if I come out there like, girl, you just hurt my, like, we finna hit you with that bop bop. No, I'm just kidding. But
I wish you would.
I'm actually serious though. Like you don't want to come off rude. Delivery is so important. Say if your sibling said something that hurt your feelings, you can come to them a couple of days later like, hey, you know, what you said really made me feel some type of way, because you don't want to sit and harbor those feelings.
Or later that day, you can just send a text message, you know, a nice text message and say, hey, I felt this way when you said this or that.
Honesty really does play a big role for me because I am someone who feelings, you know, they do get hurt pretty
often.
They do.
Everything you do often.
Hold up now. Watch yourself. No, but I am someone who will communicate to Lyric. I'll say, hey, you know, yeah, I ain't like that too much now. And so.
And I know I can rub her the wrong way sometimes because I come off pretty straightforward.
And do. But we're
with a loving heart.
Yeah, I can't say it's loving. Lyric will tell me like it is. You know, I come and I'll say, girl, this is stressing me out. She's like, what you stressed for, girl? What you stressed for? And so it's nice to actually have that honesty in a way when like I'm asking her for advice or she's asking me for advice. We tell each other like it is.
And this tip goes back to the previous tip we were talking about, which was space. Because sometimes you just need to take that honesty that someone has given to you, that criticism, honest criticism, and just go to your room and just self-reflect. Because at that moment, you're not going to take the honesty in a positive way all the time.
Yeah. Tip number 4 is being considerate. Once we get those honest opinions from our siblings, we can now try to be more considerate of their feelings. We take each other's feelings into consideration all the time, I would say. Something as little as me closing the chip bag up. Sometimes I leave the chip bag open, y'all. I don't know.
Sometimes often.
Y'all, she's out of control. But, you know, sometimes I leave the chip bag open and Lyric go in the cabinet and is like, hey, you know, you left the chip bag open, sister. And I'm like, oh, you know, my bad. And so, like, those little things, I'm intentional. Like, okay, let me close the chip bag or let me, you know, do whatever it is, because those, when we're considerate, it helps to not get on each other's nerves as much.
An example of just being considerate of each other would just be when we go on trips without each other. Like, I know that my sister loves to get souvenirs. She loves these little keychains to stick on her wall. So I'll simply just pick her up a keychain. And I know that when I come back, she will love it.
Yeah.
And I also, you know, I'll get her a book or something. Because just something that is just out of the blue sometimes.
Yeah.
Will really, you know, you just get a surprise gift.
Yeah.
And it just warms your heart.
It really does. And like, sometimes we're just like, you know what, you want to go out to eat? It's on my tab, you know?
Yeah. I started doing that a little too often.
What?
And she started liking it a little too much. So I had to stop that. Tip number 5 is prayer. Prayer is the time that we come together and just express what is on our hearts to take before the Lord.
Yeah. Prayer is another tip that has helped us to be more vulnerable with each other, I would say. When we're going through things, or even if we see things that's going on in the world and it's really burdening our hearts, we're just like, hey, like, we got to pray about this thing because it's really bothering me. Being that we're in school, when we're going through, like, when the schoolwork is just, man, when it gets intense, I'm like, Jesus.
Oh, it's been putting a whooping on me.
But we're like, okay, let's pray about this thing, because we know that we can cast all of our burdens and the things that we're going through onto God. And so that has been a blessing. And we know that prayer brings us closer to God. And in prayer, we're able to be closer with each other. And so that has been amazing. It has helped us to turn up our prayer life as well. So don't sleep on prayer. Now, prayer is important, especially when we're getting on each other's nerves. It's like, Lord, you know, we say that prayer, Lord, help me to just be patient with my sister, or help me to show her love and be nice to her and kind to her, even when I don't feel like it. And so Prayer is so important. Tip number 6 is forgiving and apologizing.
There are some times, especially this year, where my sister has told me, hey, I get my feelings hurt often and you don't apologize enough.
I think that people sometimes sleep on the power of apology. Apologizing really does show that you care. Like, okay, I realize I hurt your feelings. And so let me go back and say, hey, I was wrong for this. And I don't plan on doing it again to you. And so we apologize, and we're also quick to forgive each other. We don't walk around mad at each other for days, because that's just not what we do. But we're forgiving because sometimes, my sister might not have intentionally hurt my feelings, and I don't think that she ever really does try to intentionally hurt my feelings. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to forgive her. And we're quick to forgive, like I said, because first of all, we're called to forgive people. And so it's important that we hold up those Christian foundations, even in our relationship as siblings. Our last and final tip is tip number 7, which is setting goals.
We set goals to better our sister relationship. We've set money goals, traveling goals, and something as simple as a goal to better our communication in the household. Yeah. We've even sat down and we've planned out the future to see if we want to partner in a business together for our future occupations.
Yeah. And that's been an awesome thing. Setting goals has allowed us to work together as sisters, to strategize together, to think through things, and to be on each other's side at all times. Those are our 7 tips on building
and maintaining
a healthy relationship with your siblings.
Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.
And feel free to comment below some of the things that you guys do to maintain and build that healthy relationship with your siblings.